This UFL Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is offering plenty of markets this week for the PGA Championship that you can't find anywhere else. Sign up with SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
Hey, it's Scooby right here, aka Shark Dog, listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
No one actually reached out to say they wanted the UFL show.
Yeah, why the hell are we doing this show then?
But we decided to do it anyway.
Why?
What do you mean? Because I know there's actually people out there who don't know how to get in touch with us, who have thought, I've felt it. They've put the thoughts in the universe. They said, we need to hear UFL talk. Not because we're talking. I've actually gotten this feedback. I'm glad the UFL is happening, not because the UFL, but because it allows you guys to do a podcast with Colby in the off season.
Oh, okay.
So perhaps we should just do a podcast with Colby and not have to cover the UFL. I would be fine with that.
Joining us on the line from the UFL Gambling Podcast, spring football aficionado, Colby Dant.
Hey, Colby's coming. Here we go.
Yeah, I figured. Well, I got a little echo.
Hold on, Colby. I got too many things to do. That might have been my fault. You're good now.
Well, I figured we would also start up the. We're gonna do a weekly CFL show too, right?
No.
I'm not opposed. I like Canada.
That's what I'm saying.
Sean, we
Oh Canada, we love our beaver.
I mean, there's only 4 teams or whatever, or 4 games a week. Wait, how many teams are there? 8?
9.
No.
Oh, wait, Classic Canada. Why is it not an even number, Colby?
Everyone gets a bye week every week.
Yeah,
it's
that's
great.
actually pretty genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then how do you? What do you have? 3 divisions of 3?
No, 2 divisions. One of more. Yeah. 2
one
divisions.
is 5,
Sean,
one is 4.
Yeah.
We found a bucket of lemons and we made lemonade. All right, let's not pick it apart.
Measure everything in meters over there.
It's obviously not Coca-Cola.
It wasn't always like that. Check out the CFL Gambling Podcast.
Oh Jesus!
I grew up a Baltimore Stallion fan, and
what part of Canada is Baltimore?
Yeah, well, trust me that if you've traveled to some of the truck stop cities in Canada, Baltimore fits right in.
Oh, really?
I got to be honest. I'm not sure I like this. We'll call it colonizing that Canada tried to do.
Yeah, taking over.
These are American football cities. You can have take Hartford. Have like Bismarck.
Well, they respectfully. So what happened was the Colts. Obviously
that's true.
Their scumbag owner left, and then took the Colts out of Baltimore, which they should still be in Baltimore. Now the NFL did a great rebrand though with the Ravens. I actually think that's one of the best things the NFL's done.
Yeah.
The Ravens come in and CFL backs away. They didn't even try to compete with it. They just backed away and said, you know what, you can have Baltimore. Have Baltimore, even though the Stallions had won a Grey Cup. And I mean, we could do a whole hour on that Baltimore Stallions team that I was a huge fan of.
We could.
I do kind of randomly respect the use of the Maryland state crest or whatever in all of the uniforms of the teams, along with the fact that Ravens is a pretty elite mascot. We're if we were to scrap the idea of talking sports and we're power ranking team mascots, all sports, all leagues, Ravens pretty strong.
Well, especially with the Edgar Allan Poe Baltimore connection. Yeah,
our
that's
audience
fire.
didn't
That's
need you
fire.
to punch him in the
face.
face.
You know what I mean? That's fire.
Yeah, it's very
Quoth
intelligent.
the Raven, nevermore.
I mean, come on.
All right. We also have to get some touting out of the way.
Do we?
Well,
it's just the UFL. We don't. Do we really want to tout the UFL stuff?
It was tough because there were 4 games and 2 of them were pushes when we bet them, so that was kind of annoying.
Did we talk about how UFL Jeff struck again with the credential game?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we brought that up, but it seems like he likes pulling credentials away from people like hotcakes. I don't know.
Share the story with the audience, right?
I'm sure everyone's up to speed with all the UFL drama, but if you're not up to speed, a very notable UFL outlet who covers the Stallions was treated like a second class citizen, much like yourself, Sean, by the UFL and the security team out there in Birmingham. Got a little internet drama. It seems like the everything's been resolved at this point, but it does seem like there's a bit of a goon squad situation with the UFL, where now lots of people have reached out privately. They don't want to speak publicly. They're scared of retaliation.
I'm the only one who's not scared of Jeff.
Like
hashtag UFL Jeff sucks.
Here's what we'll do. If you want to get something off your chest about the XFL, former XFL or current UFL public relations team, send it to Sean. We will, he will address it as if it's his own story in his own words.
And look, that's really one of the real reasons why the league has struggled. I believe is UFL Jeff sucks. Once again, hashtag that hashtag still going strong. But
what are you look at some of these other like sub leagues, whether it be lacrosse, rugby, what other weird shit, cornhole, bowling. You have to attack like some form of guerrilla marketing. By giving, I mean, honestly, Derek and the Circuit does a great job of this guerrilla marketing by giving people who have a voice access. That's easy. It's a simple solution.
Or like, look, I know you guys love the NFL, but it's called the No Fun League now because of how corporate it is, right? And Jerry Glanville gave it that title.
No.
But my point is
kind of a loose cannon.
But and he used to coach.
NFL bashing on this show.
That's a perfect connection, right?
But out of bounds, Colby.
But my point is that the UFL has an opportunity to be the fun league, and what does it do? It just completely drops the ball.
You don't need to be the fun league, but you can be the hey. We realize that we're at the same level of podcast league. We should invite all levels of media out to our outlet, even if they don't have a newspaper deadline.
Yeah, the fact that they think they're better than podcasts is the most comical.
Like, do they not understand how the world works?
Well, there was like this outlet was covering Birmingham sports, and they basically got banned supposedly from the stadium forever because of like they let one of the other guys that work with him borrow their pass. It's
literally the.
What are you worried about? Have you looked at the stands, you dumb motherfucker? Like if anyone really wanted to get in there, they could. You're punishing people that actually give a shit about your dumb, stupid league and are going out of their way to talk about it and create content about it. You should be celebrating them. You should be rolling out the red carpet. Instead, you're hassling them. You're hassling sideline photographers. A guy like flew himself out just to take photos of your fucking dumb league, and you go, "Oh, get this guy out of here." Do you think? I mean, the NFL they can swing their dick around because they are the greatest league of all time. 100%, no doubt, greatest league also ever created in football.
They've been nothing but great to work with every time we've been credentialed with them.
Let's talk about this though. Let's talk about this for a second, because I used to work with a bartender who bartended Super Bowl I.
Oh, wow.
And Super Bowl I.
Here we go.
Super Bowl I.
Colby's like, I was back when it was a Super Bowl, you know?
No. The NFL had to. They didn't look. Rome wasn't built overnight. They had to. No one went to the Super Bowl. I don't know if you know this. So he was fresh from Mexico to America. The Super Bowl was at the LA Coliseum, and they're like, "You want to make some big money bartending this thing?" He's like, "Hell yeah!" And if you go look at photos, this shit's like half empty, right? They would let anybody in. They would let anybody into Super Bowl I because they were trying to get people on board with the sport.
Yes.
Take notes, UFL.
Real quick. The phrase is actually Rome wasn't built in a day, because the Romans, fun fact, never had caffeine. Didn't show up in Italy for a couple hundred years later, maybe more.
What?
Same with football.
The Romans didn't have caffeine.
Same with football, but now we have the semen.
Yeah. So Rome was built in a day, not overnight, because they didn't work overnight back then. They hadn't discovered caffeine yet. I mean, it's a true story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go look it up.
I will. All right, we got UFL picks to get to. I thought I was confused because I thought it was Rome wasn't built in a day because it took a long time to build Rome.
Yeah, I was joking. Colby said Rome wasn't built overnight. And I was saying the phrases during the day because there wasn't caffeine yet. Yeah, we were
I got you.
a couple different layers to the onion. It went over well for a couple people. It's hit me up directly if you got a
Ryan's
chuckle.
really been peak dad humor.
What do you mean?
Lately.
That wasn't dad humor. That was good stuff. Colby liked it.
Hey, have you signed up with Naira Bets yet? NairaBets.com/SGPN200. Use the promo code SGPN200. Get in over there. Get ready for the Preakness. We just debuted our Preakness podcast. Get in there. Get that $200 deposit match. Sweet sign up bonus. I just unloaded all my deposit dollars from the Kentucky Derby on the Preakness. The Black Eyed Susan, if you're watching this live, that is happening in a couple hours. So still time. YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Of course, your notifications are already on. You're watching live. You're getting psyched for the Preakness. Get in over at NairaBets.com/SGPN200. And we have a brand new sponsor to the show, Rhythm. That's right, Rhythm, RITHMM. Check them out in the App Store. They give you they're awesome for player props. If you're betting NBA player props, which I like to dabble with time and again, I get down on some NBA player props. Rhythm helps make it happen. Super good data analysis. They got predictions with player prop graphics to help you feel even more confident about your picks and where you can place your bets. Also very good for DFS. If you're firing off some NBA DFS lineups, again, superstars, the bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data without you needing to endlessly scroll a sports book. Maybe you're using some of the Rhythm data over for your underdog fantasy entry. That seems like a good combo. Start a free 7-day trial and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm. Available wherever you get your apps. RITHMM.
Data. It's a big debate.
Really?
The Rhythm's gonna get you as a perfect segue there. Gloria Estefan, you know what I mean? It still gets me to this day. And let's talk about something.
That was shocking.
Did you guys? I haven't listened to your Preakness episode yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that is the grimiest sports event America has to offer.
No, they have a lot. There's a lot of tracks in this country.
Well,
this is a nice one.
Are they still doing the porta potty races at the Preakness?
I believe so. We
didn't discuss that. We got sidetracked because Malcolm, who is our horse racing guy, also does Premier League Gambling Podcast, MLB Gambling Podcast. He was he told a story in the Kentucky Derby about basically they had this back alley bowling league that they were rigging and they got banned from. It was covered in the local newspapers there. So we kind of got sidetracked with that, but
it didn't seem like they were rigging. It seemed like they were just playing house advantages.
Yeah. The kid they had setting up the pins was doing a favorable stacking.
Like, I gotta be honest, that to me, that is just, it's definitely worth getting kicked out of a league for, but I wouldn't say rigging.
Well, and
that
to their credit, they got kicked out because their cheating appeal got denied. So the league accused them of rigging, Ryan, not me. And
where do you guys?
They ended up winning.
Where do you guys stand on fans in porta potties perhaps getting fellatio from a woman? Because that happened to a buddy of mine from ECU when he went to Preakness.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Sometimes, like when you're at war, you're in a war zone. There's different rules, and so like not definitely. I would assume that wasn't the first choice, but
he had to stand.
Strikes.
He had to stand on the toilet and then use the top of the. To get some friction a little bit because he'd be falling over his balance. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to lay in the mud to survive.
That is a disgusting act. You
have to know when to come.
I mean, and so they're married today, right?
Potentially. I haven't checked in with him in a while, but I can tell you this: the bad news is the door swung open, so everybody saw it.
Bad news for who?
Yeah.
Well, her, I would assume.
Yeah.
But. Maybe not. Maybe that's the first. Maybe she's done that a bunch of times.
You're describing one of the many nightmare scenarios if you have children who happen to be female. Just anytime you hear a story, your like,
daughters are, hey, Dad, we want to do a road trip to the Preakness. Come on. Ryan, I sent you a video of the Preakness porta potty. Not what Colby was describing, but the The porta potty run.
He's so lucky. He's so lucky this was pre-camera phone. He's so lucky this was like 2004.
Of all the things, I mean, you could get photographed doing, I think receiving fellatio, it could be way worse as far as stuff I did in college.
Well, I'm saying for her. There's a dad out there that would have to confront that.
Confront, that's a strong way to put that. I mean,
honey, how was the horse race? I do know a girl who went and partied there and with her sorority and went nuts. I think she went to Delaware College.
That makes sense.
So not,
a little runoff there.
Not a true academic in any sense. But when they came back, they were like, how was the horse race? And she's like, what do you mean? Like she had no idea.
Sorry, hold on.
I don't know.
That sums up Preakness, man. If you haven't been to Preakness, it's grimy. It's how I picture the vet, Sean. It's how I picture the vet in the 70s and 80s. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Some of this activity going on. I mean, last game I went to at the Link, they were throwing beer cans, full beer cans at other Eagles fans. Just no particular fight or reason. It was just like, hey, why not throw some full beers at these people walking around?
All right, here we go. Let's see if this works.
We probably don't need the audio.
I don't think the audio. I'll mute it just in case.
Okay.
I think we were just hearing it because it was on my computer.
But yeah, if you haven't seen the Preakness race, we got to showcase some of this. All right, here they are. Porta potty. This is 2008. So this is like right when people are getting phones and videoing.
This is fresh after that incident, 2 or 3 years after.
Oh, hold on, I need to make this. I want to make this optimal. No, it's not doing anything. All right, I'm just gonna hit play. I mean, this is a sport.
Yes.
Anyone who doesn't think this is an action, like this takes some
This gentleman is wearing a black tank top. He's on there running with jeans, and there are just full beers flailing at him.
Any one of those hits him in the head,
and
he's going
maintaining.
Down.
He is on it. And down goes. Yeah. His sniper shot took him down at the end. He rolls off. Pretty good run though.
I would say.
And then we got more.
All right.
Dude flexing up top.
I would say that.
Yes, they're obviously all in cargo shorts.
That was a Cleveland Indians hat there. There we go.
They're not going very fast, but
you want to go faster. You want to go. No. You want to go faster because you don't want to catch that full beer in the side of the head and get knocked out because you go down.
Guy finished. Congrats.
All right.
Now knowing UFL Jeff, he would have made sure there's no places to go to the bathroom the next year.
No, well, you wouldn't want any media covering it. It's like, Jeff, how are we going to get the word out about these sweet porta potty races if we are not allowed to post videos about them?
I have hold on. I'm fixing things.
I can't wait until the league goes under so I can text him once again. You're the crazy guy still texting me. That's what, I'm not crazy. I'm passionate about football. You're a loser, Jeff. Go listen to.
This is all you need to say back.
Go listen to your Toad the Wet Sprocket interview, you fucking dipshit.
Just simply say to him, hey man, you got to be careful around here because us podcasters.
Yeah. When he was trying to strong arm me, he was like, you got to watch your tongue. Be a little bit more respectful. Us credentialing types in the media. It's a small circle.
Like who
a small circle that you're not in. What do you mean? You're in the UFL. I mean, if they were pulling straws for best media credentialing job, where do you think UFL ranks?
It reminds me of back when I was one of my jobs. The company got bought up. And they brought in. I was working for YellowPages.com. They got bought up by this company, and they came in, and they just brought all these incompetent motherfuckers. And eventually, you realize their goal was not to do something great; it was to extract value out of these things, and eventually just go under and declare bankruptcy. But these people were very clearly bad at their jobs. UFL Jeff, in that same class of human. All right, you want to talk about the actual games, which are comically not meaningful. We have we have a team that's 30-1 to win the championship, and then there's 4 other teams. So
wait. There's
what?
There's what I think is one of the worst teams in the league is tied for the top seed in the
here we go.
In the XFL. I mean, this is in the XFL conference. where crossroads meet bullshit.
You're talking about the Brahmas, Colby?
Yeah, where crossroads meet bullshit, because they now have 3 of these bullshit wins. I'm mad about that. My Houston moneyline play was correct. They were in charge of that game for 59 minutes. I'm still mad about that. They dominated that game and that dumb 3-point rule, and then the most pivotal play of the game, because they tie it up with about a minute left. They kick the ball off, and for some strange reason, they decided to go to blimp cam, and they go to blimp cam, and the guy fumbles the returner fumbles the ball. It could have been a legit fumble. It could have been the ground caused it. We won't never know, because we go to Blandino, who's reviewing it from blimp cam. We don't have another camera angle. You fucking losers. Your league is killing me here.
We won't ever know. You double negative. You made it seem like we would know, but I feel like that's not what you meant to say, because you're screaming at Dean. Here would be my take on if you're gonna be the league with a command center, make the command center work.
Yeah.
Don't have a command center.
Yeah. Just call it a guys looking at a thing.
How about this? Instead of a good-looking failed comic who never actually was a referee doing the work, how about you just hire 4 guys that watch football?
There you go.
4 guys on a. First of all, this is a great alternate stream. All right, we're gonna go to the 4 guys on the couch. Oh yeah, now 3 of them think it was down.
They always say, "Hey, with these rules, we want the group of guys at a bar to agree with the call."
Yeah.
So then you should just have a group of guys at a bar deciding that. Now that would be a fun gimmick.
4 guys on the couch.
Just show them the replay. They know the rules.
4 guys on the couch and football AI, where they, what would the football AI's name be? No,
Johnny Football.
Johnny Football. Johnny Football. Is the rule that the 2 feet have to get in here, or just 1? 2 feet. All right. Yep. Nope. 2 feet didn't get in. Boom. Move on with your life.
Well, so and the gimmick keeps, like, by having these cockamamie rules. You have a team. Honestly, go through San Antonio's schedule. They've gotten 3 wins on this. They have the 1 seed in a way right now. They're a terrible team. Memphis should have beat them. That's what I'm saying. You have one of the worst teams in the league now in the playoffs, and potentially the 1 seed in the playoffs in their division.
60 minutes of football.
Stupid league. Stupid rules.
So there's 8 teams. 3 and
are we doing only a standings review?
No, well, there's 8 teams. And 3 of them have been eliminated from the playoffs. 2 have clinched their spots, and 2 basically have clinched. It's basically the only real playoff thing going on is the DC Defenders are 3 and 4. There's a chance they would knock out either the Brahmas or the Battlehawks for one of those spots in the XFL.
And they're battling for home field in both sides. There's that going on. They're battling for home field.
Kind of.
But what do you mean?
I mean, Birmingham would have to lose out for that to even come into play.
But they play Michigan.
Sure, but they would have to lose another game. I mean, they haven't lost in a while, so that feels like a little bit of a stretch.
14 games in a row for the Stallions.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we can lock the 1 and 2 seed in the USFL conference. I think
here's what you want, with the exception of teams that play the Stallions. At most of these games in this league, the team that's been getting their ass whooped wins. It's a great system.
Oh no, here we go. He's very upset about the league.
It's a great. I look. I have an issue with that, because you watch we want to see the better team win. You know what I mean?
I always thought you like when there's crazy upsets and there's weird offenses, and
if they win it for real, you create this ridiculous rules that
it's variance.
Yeah, like I said, I can't wait to talk about this week's games and talk about which team is going to play like shit and win the game.
All right, a couple fun facts about the UFL this season. We have the 3 teams that Sean was mentioning earlier: Arlington, Memphis, and Houston. Almost wore my Roughnecks sweatshirt today out of protest for the way they've been treated as an organization, being stuck with this horrible coach. They've combined for 18 losses, Sean. The rest of the league, 10 losses. That's 5 teams. So this is what as the TMZ fans that we are, Sean, this is the part we're sad about. You gotta spruce up the bottom end of the league. These teams are trash. They're nowhere near the Stallions. If you measured this like Formula One and you had that graphic, how many seconds behind the leader are they? How many seasons behind the leader are Houston right now? It's not just a coach hire at this point. They're like multiple seasons
Dysfunctional
behind.
organization.
I don't know what they're going to do anyway. Yeah. So basically, DC outside shot to sneak in. But reality is it's looking like it's going to be St. Louis and San Antonio in the XFL, Birmingham and Michigan in the USFL. So, well, and we have, it's not like we don't have 3 weeks of regular season to play.
Well, Colby, are they planning on playing their starters still?
Well, I mean, you have certain situations going on. I mean, I think Birmingham might rest some, but I'm saying like St. Louis, McCarron's got injured on the final possession. Yeah. They went and signed a quarterback this week. I'm assuming, and he was mic'd up. He said he broke his foot. I don't think that's true, but we're waiting for a depth chart to see, because I don't think he's going to play.
Couple scenarios, just basically Birmingham wins and they're basically clinched. But I mean, again, Colby's right. The Michigan can backdoor this thing, but it does seem like likely that Birmingham doesn't play their starters all the way through this game if it is a bloodbath.
Martinez is starting though. I did see a depth chart for Birmingham. I didn't see one for St. Louis.
All right, well, let's start talking about the games, because it basically the lines tell you everything you need to know. For interesting new schedule here. We're not going early on Saturday. First game 1 p.m. on the West Coast. Memphis Showboats heading to Michigan to take on the Panthers in the Dome. Panthers laying 8.5 here, -485. Showboats +370. 46.5 is the total. So yeah, as we've been discussing the situation, Michigan basically needs to win out for a chance at the 1 seed, but they're already clinched in the playoffs. So who knows how high motivation is. And then Memphis, dead man walking. I will say the teams that are dead, there is a bit of intrigue there, because part of the reason they're dead is their conservative, like horrible coaching strategies. Maybe now that they know they're dead, they'll loosen up a little bit and get frisky. That kind of be my handicap in almost all of these games, where it's like, boy, these are big numbers for teams that aren't fully motivated to run their guys out for the entire game. But man, the difference between the good teams and the bad teams is also pretty big.
What are you talking about though? Some of the good teams are bad teams.
Well, Michigan's not one of them though, in your opinion, right? Yeah. In this spot, Michigan would be one of the good teams, and there's a very real possibility they don't play their dudes to the very end, or they don't scrap to the very end, and it is greater than a 1 touchdown score.
No, I'll take the points because Bryce Perkins isn't starting. They're starting Lewerke. Now Perkins played very well last week. I think he had the highest QBR in the whole league last week. And I imagine they'll probably play both, but I don't like that. Like Mike Nolan, to me, even with Michigan's winning ways,
speaking of conservative coaches.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that like, I don't trust. I have zero trust that he's going to be able to say, hey, this guy's better than the other guy. Let's just do this. You can see that by the fact he started EJ Perry so long.
I'll say this too. Memphis feels like a team that could randomly, just if they're playing loose, maybe they could also get throttled here. I don't know. Well, you're laying the points, Sean?
I'm laying the points. Yeah. Give me the Panthers. Their defense is too good, even with whatever they're messing around with on the offense. I mean, what is Memphis?
That's a fair point. It probably doesn't matter.
This is less about Memphis. I just don't think Memphis is going to be able to put up many points. Now, they lit up Arlington, but to your point, Colby, they had the worst defense in the league. I don't know. And they just played this game not too long ago. Panthers won 35-18. I still think they're a better team. 7.5. They're trying to trick you, Ryan. They're giving you that.
Who was the quarterback in that game? Do you remember?
8.5.
Colby, who was the quarterback?
Yeah, they started, I believe, Troy Williams that game, and it's going to be Case Cook, because they also signed Josh Love. So Williams is injured. No, I think 8.5 is too much, man. I think Memphis can stay within that, especially knowing the uncertainty with Michigan. Like, I don't understand how you start Lewerke. One quarterback looked way better than the other one last week. Now I get it; both will probably get on the field, but I don't even like that. I don't like that as your rhythm of your team.
Give me the points.
Yeah.
I'm with Colby. All right, 5 p.m. We got primetime UFL football on Saturday night. Houston Roughnecks, Birmingham Stallions. The Roughnecks need to be relegated. They get a new franchise in here. They're catching 16 points, 10-1 for a single football game. Sean, that almost seems like a juicy money line compared to the actual number here. Minus 1,800 for the Birmingham Stallions. 43 is the total. Colby reported earlier, a couple minutes ago, that Martinez would be starting.
They are dinged up in the secondary though. And
what's Houston going to do about that?
No, I think Houston covers this. I think this is the great letdown spot. They just beat the Battlehawks that everyone was saying was potentially their best contender, and you saw this.
The Roughnecks.
You saw this last year. Skip Holtz and them lost to, I think it was Memphis, in a letdown spot. This is kind of like, who cares, right? I mean, I guess you're playing for home field a little bit, but it's a lot of points, man. And the Roughnecks defense, I actually think the stats don't represent that. Like, they chart at fourth in defensively, but they're on the field the most. I actually think they're the best defense in the league. So, or if not best, then second best. I'll take a shot on the Roughnecks here. I think it's a letdown spot after that big game. And I think that number is too big, man. So give me the Roughnecks. Reed Sinnott getting the start for the Roughnecks, and I think he can do enough because that Birmingham secondary is dinged up. They're on a bunch of backups, so I think they'll be able to move the ball a little bit. Over is the play too on that.
Same idea as the last game. I think I have to take the points just because I don't know how motivated Birmingham will be all the way through. Interesting scheduling. No, we discussed this earlier on a previous episode, but they close out with Michigan, Birmingham. That is. So it's Houston, then it's at San Antonio, then it's Michigan at home, and then it would be Michigan the next week. Colby's right. They're jockeying for position, but I mean, they have the home game to close out the year to secure a back-to-back. It's a very interesting. It gets very tricky. Feels like Birmingham could potentially. I don't know. Like, do you play your A game against the team when you have them in the playoffs the next week? Anyway, but back to this week. I think they win. I don't know if they cover. Are you going to lay the points here too?
They've
Sean?
won 14 in a row. Give me the Stallions one more time. Roughnecks are bad. What are you guys doing?
This is an interesting spot.
They play, dude. They went to St. Louis and played them tough. They should have covered that game, but they fucked that up. They should have won that game actually. But yeah, that's what they do. Curtis Johnson can't find his iPad. And
right. We can't bet on this guy.
I'm taking it. They're going to cover. They're not going to. I mean, you know what? It's not that crazy of a play for a money line. Plus, what is it? You got crazy odds. I saw it earlier. Yeah,
10-1 on the Roughnecks money line, Colby.
Yeah,
sprinkle.
No, that's now you've gone too far, Colby. You hate this coach.
I know Skip Holtz, buddy. I know Skip Holtz. He was an ECU coach for a long time. Yeah. I remember they were in first in the Conference USA.
They're light years
right?
ahead.
First in the Conference USA, and we were ready to go. And we still played for the Conference USA championship, but we lost to the Rice Owls one year. And I'm telling you, this is happened. It happened last year. Memphis caught them.
DC. All right. So now we're heading to Sunday. We got a 9 a.m. start, nice and early. DC Defenders, St. Louis Battlehawks. Defenders playing for their life. Although I think in reality, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. I think it just matters if the Brahmas win, they're out. So they don't even control their own destiny. St. Louis laying 7.5 here. Caw-caw. Minus 410, 320 for the Defenders. 44.5 is the total. You know, one of the natural predators of a beer snake is the Battlehawk. Battlehawk bounce back spot, right, Colby?
No, I don't.
AJ McCarron's hurt.
Yeah,
I think this could be a letdown spot.
And if he goes to play, well, first off, you've seen DC. DC, one shitty week, one good week, one shitty week, one good week, right? But if he goes to play, which I don't think he will, because that's why I think they signed another quarterback. But if he does go to play, I think Greg Williams will go after that all day. I think he'll send the house at that. I think it's too many points. This is me and CJ had circled this one as the game that St. Louis will dominate and DC will win. So let's go. Let's
I'm with you, Colby. I think DC is a live dog here. I think they could catch St. Louis sleeping. St. Louis gave Birmingham their best shot, still couldn't get it done. Now you're back home. What are you really playing for? Quarterback injured. This is the sleepy spot for the Battlehawks. So yeah, I like the defenders here.
And it's going to be interesting to see. I'm assuming Tamu starts, but he did get dinged up last game. But I'm assuming he starts just because I don't think it was serious.
Yeah, I can't do it. I realized last week when I bet on the defenders and Tamu went out there, I had this moment where I was like, God damn, I hate this guy. He's horrible. This game was played recently. I know there's some differences, but I'm out on Tamu. I'm laying the points. I was out on Tamu before the year. Why did I get back in on Tamu? That was the question.
He's a former Battlehawk. He knows what it takes to win in that filthy Battle Dome.
Kramer's rocking his spring football guy T-shirt. That shirt, all our shirts, 15% off when you use the promo code SGPN May, 15% off everything. Colby's rocking the refs are terrorists.
I saw Capper got cuffed Scotty Scheffler style with his refs are terrorists shirt at the playoffs of the Florida Panthers. And that was just I'm kidding. Boston Capper would never get arrested like Scotty Scheffler. That scumbag.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Yeah, the Scotty story is crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's not Kentucky, but I have a similar story with the law enforcement of Arkansas. So, some states you don't have to visit.
Well, what if you want to go to the Bourbon Trail?
You just gotta.
I know you're a soy guy. But I think me and Green would be interested in going to the Bourbon Trail.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't have any issues in Kentucky, but you just got to be careful. Although it did sound like one of the initial report was like Scotty Scheffler dragged police officer 10 yards. It's like, holy shit.
And I haven't really dove into the story because golf doesn't register as sports to me, but didn't someone die from getting hit by a bus?
Well, that was why the cops were maybe on higher alert because it was a crime scene that he was like.
Was it a hit and run with a bus?
No, unrelated. Like they were driving through, like the incident had already happened. They were driving through to get to the golf course, and he like drove around a barricade. And I guess cops were unpleased by this activity. Sounds like he was pulling some elitist golf activity, like the stuff that you hate about golfers, Colby.
Yeah,
country club shit. All right, So I'm disagreeing. I've disagreed with Sean on 2 of the games. Nice.
Yep. Not a good angle.
I've somehow disagreed on Sean and Colby on 2 of the games. That's interesting. Do the math. 1 p.m. on Sunday. Colby's favorite team, the Arlington Renegades,
second best team in the league,
taking on Colby's least favorite team, the San Antonio.
They're the second best team in the league. Look at the record. They're the second best team in the league.
And somehow the Brahmas are laying 2.5 points at home here. Well, that's because they have the gimmick rules. That's why they're laying the 2.5. If the gimmick rules didn't exist, Arlington would be laying a touchdown on the road here, but they aren't. -2.5, but somehow, did I write that money line down right? -2.5 is -200. That can't be right. It is. Look, holy shit.
Only 2 teams have gotten over 2,000 yards of offense this season, and that's Birmingham and Arlington. But Birmingham's almost like they're pushing like close to 3,000, but Arlington is by far the second best offense in this league, and we saw it last week. And their defense is actually better than Birmingham's from a statistical standpoint. That's what I'm saying. The league makes no sense, but Arlington this is a lock. Look, San Antonio is trash. All right, they're not going to start Hogan, who came in and looked good. The former Stanford Cardinal. They're going back to Normandy Beach, but no, like Arlington's better. They're a better team. They're going to win this game. Get these bullshit. Wade Phillips. First off, he's like 77 years old. I don't even think he realizes. Well, he doesn't even realize. He's like, we won the game. No,
I like Cade in the chat saying the UFL benefits from having the Brahmas lose this week, and that way DC stays in the playoff race in the regular season. Week 8 looks better. DC to cover and Renegades money line.
Oh, interesting. That's fun.
Dude, interesting.
He was also saying the money line odds are fucked up right now. I went back and looked, and it's accurate. Like this is not normal NFL money line math. Could be because it's lower level stuff, but Yeah, I mean, Colby. This is like the freight train coming down the tracks at like 2 miles an hour.
I mean,
colliding into a big barge of bombs.
The market does know that Arlington is the play. I mean, why should this?
What's the money line doing in the spread all the way down here?
Yeah, that's very.
It should be like that's a money line for like a -5.
Well, I think the spread, and Cade said he got Arlington when it was 3.5. I think they just adjusted the point spread and forgot to adjust the money line. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm with you, Colby.
They probably don't have anyone trading UFL over at DK. That's the reason.
I've been skeptical of this Arlington team, but San Antonio also, what's paper tigers? These are paper bulls over here.
Winners win, guys.
Yeah, Arlington's going to lose by 1 or 2 points thanks to a 3-point late comeback. 3-point conversion by the Brahmas.
And they'll get a 4th and 12 on like a defensive holding. Yeah,
I know Colby hates Wade Phillips. There's so many layers here as that the audience should be aware of before tailing his pick. He also hates Wade Phillips because one time Wade Phillips told him he couldn't do the show because he was on vacation, and then we turned on NFL Network like hours later, and Wade was on NFL Network in his vacation clothes.
Not all the way true. I still bought his book because I love Bum Phillips. I love Bum Phillips.
You like his dad. You don't like him.
Well, he doesn't. If he had some courage and wear a fucking cowboy hat and some belt buckles like his dad, all right, the world would be a lot better for it.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, I'm on the Brahmas. I'll disagree with you guys.
Renegades, mount up. I'm
sorry,
with you,
Discord.
I think Luis Perez gets him to a close defeat. I still think they lose. That's what they do.
I like that prediction though.
Hey, we're gonna get to our lock and dog. Before we do that, shout to Underdog Fantasy. Sign up now. Again, hop into the PGA Championship stuff. If you're looking to get a little golf action, higher lower fantasy projection, they have the special Scotty Scheffler sign up. Higher half stroke, very easy to get that. Over at Underdog Fantasy, higher, lower, very easy to play, very easy to win. It's a great time over on the Underdog Fantasy and Best Ball Mania. Again, alive and well. Kramer and I have been doing a bunch of these Best Ball Mania drafts. We're going to continue to do some more. Use that promo code SGPN, get a sweet deposit bonus up to $250. So Best Ball Mania, the Best Ball Fantasy Draft, $15 million in prizes. So imagine you get the $250 deposit bonus, you get 10 free drafts at your chance to win $15 million in prizes. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Kramer, what's your lock and what's your dog?
It's not just Best Ball Mania too. There's some fun other, if you only want to do, you can up that number. You said there's $3 drafts, whatever that math turns out to be. I guess times like 6 or times 7 or whatever you said. All right, here we go. Dog. I only have one underdog, but I don't like it. I don't want to just take the dog. Maybe what I'll do instead. Yeah, I hate this whole card. I guess give me Memphis. If I could lean this money line, I would. Lock. I think you have to lock up San Antonio.
Brahmas -2.5 for your lock.
Just the players coach Wade Phillips is the way he's getting this team across. They believe all the way to the end. They believe. Can't say that about every team.
For my lock, Michigan Panthers. They've established the running game. They have a good defense. They're going to take care of the showboats. Give me the Panthers laying 8.5 at home. And
you've guaranteed that game will end on like 4.
No, they got this. For my money line, give me DC. I think they are a live dog here. +320. Very nice odds. Colby, what do you got?
Lock Arlington. Dog is DC. I'm with you, Sean.
Wow.
Get that win outright.
DC on the money line. Hey, make sure you tune in to our VSiN show tonight, 6:00 Pacific, 9:00 East. Talking Preakness, little golf, little NBA playoffs. We got it all, right?
Yeah, I'm expecting to have a nice card for the weekend.
Yes, jam-packed card. Make sure you check out Colby College Football Experience. Colby, when do the individual team previews start?
I would say June 1st, you're going to get your first one out.
Whoa, that's a date. That's a date.
Lock it up.
That's a date.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sean.
Yes.
Will the first team preview be released on June 1st, after June 1st, or before June 1st?
I'm going to say on June 1st.
Wow,
Colby's a man of his word. He wouldn't let the listeners down. He loves them.
But in the meantime, check out the Stadium Heads podcast.
Oh yeah.
What is this? Did we approve this plug?
Yeah.
What is explain to the audience what Stadium Heads is, Colby?
It's myself and college football campus tour, aka Michael Barker, and we go through why college football is the greatest fucking thing to ever hit planet Earth. We go through all the stadiums on college football, and basically, if you are, if you're a college football fan, you probably don't know the history of a lot of the stadiums and stuff. Check it out. I think you'll dig it.
Colby found that there was a limitation on the streaming platform of 100 slides for one of these episodes. He wanted to get 130 in there. Couldn't get them all in there.
And that was just for the Big Ten. They have 18 teams for some reason, but Big Ten with 18 teams, we were doing that. We got the SEC coming this weekend, and Michael obviously travels around like fucking the Rolling Stones in 71. So we're going to document all that when the season heats up as well.
That was before Mick Jagger got curious, right?
I think I was 70. I think it was the summer of 72. What did they say about the summers in San Francisco?
That was the 80s when he got weird.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Good show, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.